Ladies and gentlemen, in this world where everyone feels the urge to share every moment of their life, there is something crucial we need to understand. Not everything is meant to be known. We live in a society where personal details are constantly exposed. Social media, our conversations, our interactions, they all seem to require us to reveal more and more of ourselves. But here's the truth: not everything about you should be shared with the world. In a world that constantly demands transparency and openness, the power of privacy is often underestimated. Privacy is not just about keeping secrets, it's about safeguarding your mental, emotional, and psychological well-being. The power of privacy lies in the ability to maintain control over your personal narrative and decide what parts of your life are for you and only you. This autonomy enables you to live authentically without being influenced by the judgments, expectations, and pressures of others. When we allow others into every corner of our lives, we risk losing our sense of self. People often feel entitled to know more than what is necessary, and once they gain access to certain details, they may start forming opinions or imposing their beliefs on us. This can lead to unnecessary stress, confusion, and even self-doubt. When you choose to keep aspects of your life private, you are setting a boundary that protects your individuality and emotional peace. By preserving this space, you maintain your sense of autonomy and power, not allowing anyone to dictate how you should think, feel, or act. Privacy also gives you the space to grow without external interference. Life is full of challenges, victories, and moments of transformation, and not every part of that process needs to be witnessed by others. By keeping some experiences to yourself, you allow room for reflection, introspection, and personal development. These private moments often form the foundation of strength and resilience, and they shape who you become. When you share too much too soon, you expose yourself to external pressures that may force you to change before you're ready or even want to. The power of privacy allows you to build trust with yourself. It is about recognizing that you are the only person who can truly understand your thoughts, your feelings, and your intentions. This sense of trust helps you make decisions that are aligned with your true desires and values, not based on what others think is right for you. Privacy becomes the space where you can rest, recharge, and reconnect with who you truly are, without worrying about how others perceive you. In this sanctuary of privacy, you create a foundation for your emotional resilience, independence, and inner strength. In today's interconnected world, the line between openness and oversharing has become increasingly blurred. While being open and vulnerable can foster connection and trust, oversharing can come with significant risks that often go unnoticed. When we share too much about ourselves, we give others access to our inner worlds, opening the door for judgment, unsolicited advice, and even manipulation. The danger lies in the fact that once something is shared, it's no longer entirely within your control. People may interpret your words, actions, or feelings in ways that were never intended, and you may find yourself being defined by the things you shared instead of who you truly are. Oversharing often results in emotional vulnerability that can be exploited by those who may not have your best interests at heart. In an age where everyone is constantly consuming information, it's easy to feel that revealing personal details will create empathy or understanding. However, not everyone who learns about your struggles or your goals will use that information kindly. Some may offer advice that doesn't resonate with your truth, while others may even take advantage of your openness, using your vulnerabilities for their own benefit. When you open up too much, you invite people into your life who may not respect your boundaries or your privacy, and in doing so, you may invite negativity and harm. Furthermore, oversharing can create unrealistic expectations. When you make your struggles, achievements, and dreams public, others might begin to expect more from you than you can deliver. They may assume that because you've shared a part of your journey, you owe them more insight or access into your life. This pressure can lead to burnout, anxiety, and the constant fear of disappointing those who feel entitled to your story. It's essential to remember that your life is not a public spectacle, and the only person who truly understands the complexities of your experiences is you. The more you share, the more you risk losing your sense of self. Constantly offering pieces of your life to others can blur the line between what is truly yours and what is shaped by others' perceptions. Eventually, you may find that you are living a life dictated by external influences rather than one driven by your own desires, values, and authenticity. By oversharing, you dilute the essence of your personal journey, making it harder to distinguish between who you are and what others think you should be. Self-respect is the foundation of inner strength, and it begins with the decision to honor your own boundaries and protect your personal space. When you respect yourself, you understand that your worth does not depend on the approval or opinions of others. It comes from recognizing your value as a person, independent of external validation. This sense of self-respect allows you to maintain your dignity and composure in the face of criticism or judgment. It creates a sense of inner stability that is unaffected by the ups and downs of other people's expectations or thoughts about you. In a world where so many people seek to define others by their actions, appearances, or mistakes, self-respect is an act of defiance. It means choosing to stand firm in your truth, regardless of the pressures to conform. When you maintain strong boundaries and protect your personal life, you are reinforcing your self-worth. You refuse to let anyone violate your space, manipulate your emotions, or force you to reveal more of yourself than you're comfortable with. The act of drawing a line and saying, "This is where I stand," is a profound expression of self-respect. It is the recognition that you are not here to please others at the cost of your own peace. Self-respect also fosters inner strength by helping you develop emotional resilience. When you respect yourself, you stop allowing the opinions of others to control how you feel about yourself. No matter how much someone criticizes you or tries to impose their expectations, you hold firm to your own values and beliefs. This gives you the strength to face challenges without being thrown off course by external forces. Your decisions are guided by your own sense of purpose and self-worth, not by the fleeting approval of others. In a world that often demands vulnerability and exposure, self-respect is the quiet strength that enables you to protect your heart and mind. It empowers you to live authentically, choosing when and where to share parts of yourself and knowing when to say no. The more you respect your personal space, the more you develop the internal strength to walk through life with confidence and peace, knowing that you are enough just as you are. It allows you to protect your emotional well-being while remaining true to yourself, free from the need to seek validation from others. There is a profound sense of freedom that comes with keeping certain aspects of your life sacred. In a society where sharing personal details has become normalized, the act of holding some parts of your journey close to your heart is a powerful form of self-liberation. By choosing what to reveal and what to keep private, you maintain control over your narrative. This control enables you to live on your own terms without being swayed by external influences or the pressure to conform to society's expectations. Keeping something sacred means that you are the gatekeeper of your own story, allowing you to preserve the integrity of your experiences without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. When you guard certain parts of your life, you create a safe space where you can grow, reflect, and evolve. This sacred space provides you with the freedom to make mistakes, learn from them, and heal without the constant eyes of the world observing every step. The beauty of keeping things sacred is that it gives you the opportunity to evolve on your own terms, free from the pressure of public opinion. It allows you to process emotions and experiences without the expectation that they need to be shared or validated by others. It is in this space that true personal growth happens, untainted by the influence of others who may not fully understand your journey. Moreover, by keeping certain things sacred, you protect the parts of you that are most vulnerable. These are the aspects of yourself that, if exposed, could be subject to criticism or even manipulation. When you shield your vulnerabilities from unnecessary exposure, you are essentially guarding your heart and mind, ensuring that your personal life remains intact. This protection fosters resilience, as you can face the world with strength, knowing that there are parts of you that are inviolable. Keeping something sacred also brings a deep sense of peace. When you choose not to overshare, you remove the burden of constantly managing the opinions and expectations of others. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself or justify your choices. The freedom lies in the understanding that not everything needs to be out in the open to be valid or meaningful. Some aspects of your life are yours to cherish privately, and that ownership allows you to walk through life with confidence, rooted in the understanding that your worth is not defined by others' perceptions. In a world full of distractions, noise, and outside pressures, it is easy to become overwhelmed by the things beyond our control. Whether it's the opinions of others, the unpredictable nature of life's challenges, or societal expectations, so much of what we encounter can seem out of our hands. But one of the most empowering decisions you can make is to focus on what you can control. This shift in focus doesn't just reduce stress, it allows you to reclaim your personal power and begin shaping your own path with intention. The first aspect of life you can control is your response. No matter what happens around you, the way you react is entirely within your power. You cannot always dictate the actions of others or the circumstances you face, but you can control how you engage with them. When you embrace this, you stop allowing outside influences to dictate your emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively or allowing yourself to be swept up in negativity, you become a conscious participant in your own life. You choose to respond in ways that align with your values, principles, and desired outcomes. Another element within your control is the effort you put into your actions. No matter where you are in life or what obstacles you may face, you always have control over the effort you put forth. Whether it's your work, your personal growth, or your relationships, the level of dedication and commitment you invest is yours to determine. Focusing on your effort rather than obsessing over results keeps you grounded in the present moment and ensures that you're always moving forward. You can't always control the outcome, but you can control how much heart and energy you pour into each step. Finally, one of the most powerful things you can control is your mindset. In any situation, how you choose to think about the circumstances directly impacts your experience of them. A positive mindset can turn a challenge into an opportunity, while a negative mindset can transform an opportunity into a burden. By training yourself to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your responses, you can begin to shape the life you want to live. In doing so, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to control the uncontrollable and focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Living authentically is a journey of reclaiming your true self, free from the weight of external influences that often try to shape who you are. In a world that bombards us with societal expectations, media portrayals, and the opinions of others, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. The constant pressure to meet standards set by others can make us forget that we have the right to define ourselves on our own terms. Living authentically means embracing your individuality and making choices that align with your core values, desires, and passions, without the need for validation from the outside world. When you live authentically, you begin to understand the power of inner conviction. Instead of seeking approval or adapting to fit the mold of what others expect, you learn to trust your instincts and follow your own path. Authentic living involves making decisions that reflect who you are, rather than what others think you should be. It's about accepting your strengths and flaws alike, recognizing that your uniqueness is what gives you value, not the approval of others. The more you trust yourself and your journey, the more you cultivate the inner confidence needed to face life's challenges without succumbing to external pressures. Living authentically also requires the courage to stand alone, to sometimes be the only one who understands your choices. In a world where conformity is often rewarded, stepping away from the crowd can feel daunting. However, it's precisely this courage to walk your own path that leads to true freedom. When you live authentically, you no longer feel the need to explain or justify your decisions to anyone. You let go of the need to be liked, accepted, or understood by others, others, because your value doesn't come from external approval, it comes from within. This freedom gives you the strength to pursue what truly matters to you, regardless of whether others approve. By embracing authenticity, you also create space for genuine connections. When you show up as your true self, you attract people who resonate with your authenticity. These relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding, rather than on trying to meet expectations or put on a facade. Authenticity allows you to build a life that is not only true to who you are, but is also surrounded by people who support and appreciate the real you. In the end, living authentically is the ultimate expression of self-love and self-respect. It's about shedding the weight of external influence and embracing the freedom that comes from being unapologetically yourself. Living authentically is not always the easiest path, but it is undoubtedly the most rewarding. By shedding the expectations and judgments of others, you create a life that is truly your own, one that is rich with purpose, authenticity, and freedom. When you trust yourself, honor your values, and embrace your true identity, you free yourself from the shackles of external influence and open the door to genuine fulfillment. Remember, the journey to authenticity is a continuous process, but it is through this commitment to living on your own terms that you will find the peace and strength to face anything that comes your way. Be true to who you are, and everything else will follow.